Matron, the parish and the Pauper girls is a community heritage project with an element of an intergenerational element to it. The project is taking some adults from the Disability Resource Centre. So the adults looked at records which are held at the Heritage Centre. So we took the person that we'd found in the index and found the record in the Heritage Centre and then started transcribing exactly what was in the record to build up the story of who these ladies were.
It's really interesting. There's loads of information. Where she stayed, how many times she moved, how many times she was in the poorhouse. It's quite easy, isn't it?
It's interesting to see because now we want to know what's happened to our children.
It's really good. And I'm looking forward to finding out a bit more.
When the children first heard about the project, they were very excited, as was I. When Lil Brookes asked us to take part and the invite came in, it was very difficult to say no because of her infectious enthusiasm for the project.
I really wanted there to be an intergenerational aspect to the project. I really want to kind of get an element with some children interacting with the adults, both studying the same stories in history, and let's see what the outcome of it is.
We're here this morning to support a shared activity talking about the poorhouses that were formerly here many, many years ago, bringing it to light for the children. The children have responded very positively this morning. We've only had one group on so far, and they have totally been engrossed in the activities that we've put towards them, and hopefully it reinforces what they've already learned in the classroom. What sort of age can you see? Is there more males? Is there more females?
It looks like there's more females. Looks like there's more females.
Everyone had to wear a uniform so that they looked the same.
We had a school group in today and they came down to have a look at some of the objects that we have in our collections. We also did a bit of role play with them and got them to think about what life is like in a Victorian poorhouse and what sort of things they would have done at school there and what they would have worn and writing on a slate and just general bits of fun, which I think we quite enjoyed, didn't we?
It was amazing getting to see the kids' reactions, especially when they were in the storeroom and they got to see real objects such as the Paisley Poorhouse stamp from the poorhouse, and to think that that's over 100 years old and we still have it in our collections, which is fantastic. What do you think you would want to stamp that said Paisley Poorhouse? Yeah, you might have stamped maybe your initial records of when you were first being brought in.
I think intergenerational work is a fantastic thing to do. Again, we want to try and install good values in our children, and one of them in our school is actually respect. And we want to value the contribution of elderly people, for example, in the community, and value what stories they have or what knowledge they have.
The river cart, because the cart was used for transporting all the goods that were made down the river. So you get Love Street, You get New Snedden Street, that gives you an idea of where this poorhouse was. Right there. Anybody recognise that church?
No, the Mosville.
Mosville, that's right. So this was called a swing park or a gymnasium.
I think nowadays it is vital to equip the children with an understanding of how media works in terms of how you respond to it, but also how you create it through the use of equipment and through the use of storytelling and the use of kind of filmmaking. You'll need a microphone as well. What else would you think you'd need? So headphones, microphone.
That's where the intergenerational part of the project comes into being, and they create a film and they storyboard a film and they tell the stories of some of the people they've found out about through their historical research.
The red button is the record button. So, what's your name? Harris. So if you want to film Harris, you just hit this button and then you'll see in the top left it will start saying recording.
Where I'd have one line for camera, one line for audio, and one line for acting. Camera crew, are you ready, yeah?
2, 1, action! Hi, my name's Elizabeth Mulford Crawford, and here are the people in the background. They're my friends.
My favourite thing was going out on set one day. I didn't really know what to expect. I thought the kids would be enthusiastic, but they were literally grabbing the kit off of Ludo, grabbing the kit off of the camera operator Jamie, and just going about filming themselves. So they all took a specific role, and it was nice just to see everyone involved.
It was quite a rewarding process for us because to see the children being able to take the skills that we had taught them for an hour and a half, and develop them into what they wanted to film, what they wanted to showcase to an audience was really interesting, and it's something that I think we've learned from as well. Once you know that your camera crew is ready, you want to ask your acting crew if they're ready.
How did you feel when Robert went into prison? Really upset because I didn't really get that much money then. I think I was a little lonely at that part, but like I was a little sad. Roll 1, scene 1, take 1, action. You'll be doing questions by Thomas Murney. Question 3. What led up to you having to go in the poorhouse? Let me remember. I had no money and I couldn't pay the rent.
We're at the Disability Resource Centre and we're going to be running the very last workshop with the children this afternoon.
Make sure when you start rolling that the actors are ready, obviously camera's ready, sound is ready, everyone's ready to go.
They've met the film crew, that yourselves at Media Monte. They've learnt new roles which have maybe brought up their confidence. I feel certainly over the 5 weeks the children are a bit more confident in the roles that they're actually participating in. The children have reacted really, really well. Teachers have been fantastic, and the adults who are the participants from the Disability Resource Centre have been fantastic as well and really enjoyed it, I think. And I love seeing the children now coming in and they've got expectations of what they're going to do, their roles within either the film crew, as the director or the clapper board girl, and then you've also got the children who are actors and they actually know this is what we're going to do today and they've got a great expectation about it. So it's been really, really good fun.
Roll 2, scene 2, take 4, action! We now have some very special guests to tell us about what life was like living in the poorhouse in 1881 as children. Please welcome Elizabeth Moffat Crawford's children, Robert and his friend John. I lived in Paisley with my mum and dad and my 2 sisters, but it was always difficult. We never had enough money and we were always hungry.
How do you feel now you're in the poorhouse?
Well, I don't know. I'd like that I know that I have food, even if it's terrible, and I have met some friends and I get to spend time with.
And that brings us to John. How did you end up in the poorhouse?
My family had no money. I couldn't afford to pay the rent, so we ended up living up on the street until we went into the poorhouse. It wasn't great, but I suppose it was better than living in the street.
Today we are going to be interviewing Elizabeth Moffat Crawford from the poorhouse.
Hello.
Hello Elizabeth, how are you today?
I'm good. What school did you go to?
I went to a parish school with my friends. It was a long. Excuse me? Long time ago, so I can't quite remember. But
Question 3. What led up to you having to go in the poorhouse?
no money equals no rent.
Question 5. Have you ever tried to get out of the poorhouse?
Many times I got caught.
Thank you for listening.
I think it shows how versatile history is, but also how powerful history is at telling stories, which are very valuable stories. But I also think that the filmmaking aspect of it is something that can be explored further as a tool for education, telling stories, making people feel good, sense of well-being, etc. So it's something that's, I think, very powerful as well. So putting 2 powerful things together, you create a revolution.